Andy Maloney, trimmer on Emirates Team New Zealand.
Very high stakes day today.
Yeah, it was really light winds today. You know, it was all about just avoiding the light spots, pulling off those foiling manoeuvres, and finding the breeze.
2 victories. Let's talk about those first. Just tell us how it felt on board. And I mean, you guys were dominant really in those 2 races.
Yeah, I mean, we went out there and the conditions were as expected for us, and we executed 2 nice starts in those first 2 races on port tack and kept it clean around the race course and sailed away from the fleet. Unfortunately, the last race, you know, we were in the pack in the hunt around the race course, and we just didn't quite execute one jibe, and it was quite light, bit of bad air, and that's that.
And it just shows how every manoeuvre is so important, because you get one wrong and suddenly you're at the back.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It's you know, it requires 4 of you on the boat to be in complete sync with each other, and if you do one thing slightly wrong, then that can be the difference between landing a foiling manoeuvre or not. So, yeah, it's all about, you know, teamwork in those situations.
Looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, what sort of conditions are we expecting? Are you going to be sailing anything? Are you going to be doing anything different?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the weekend, you know, it's looking windier, so we're looking forward to debriefing today and then resetting and looking forward to the next couple of days, because it could be quite different.
You're just off the water. Is there anything you already know that you feel like you want to change?
There are a couple of things from those light airs that we can look back on and definitely do differently next time we're out in those conditions. But as I said before, it's going to be about looking forward, and it'll be slightly windier, we think, tomorrow. So making sure we remember the key things to do well in those conditions going forward.
Thanks very much.
It's Jason Saunders from Orient Express Racing Team.
Well, sum up the day. Good or average for you?
Average, certainly not what we're after. I mean, the last race showed that we can do it, and we're really happy to be able to bounce back. But the positions we put ourselves in the first couple of races, we should have been able to achieve some better results. And so we've got a bit of homework to do tonight. Make sure we clean up a few of our manoeuvres. And I know that with the starts the guys are giving us, we can go and win races. So that's the goal for tomorrow.
Do you already have, obviously you need a debrief, but do you already have a feeling of what you could improve?
Yeah, there's certainly a few ideas, and I know we'll look into the data a bit more tonight and look at all the video especially that we see from the other boats. But there's a couple of key areas where we are struggling, and trying to get out of this bad, dirty air is really difficult and hard to achieve manoeuvres. So we'll make sure we really analyse tonight, because there's some good lessons to take out of today.
Okay, so...
Okay.
No, so... Am I right here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, I'll do one more. Okay. What did you do right today?
Great starts. The guys, and actually yesterday as well in the practice racing.
Start with what we did get right.
Oh, yeah. What we did well today was great start. We had great starts, and we've been having great starts for the last couple of days, even in the practice. So I think we've got a good system in place now, and obviously get a good start. Usually you get out into the clear air first, and so that's what we've got to keep up for tomorrow for sure.
Thanks very much.
Umberto Molineris, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Watching at you or the camera?
Looking at me.
Okay.
So a really good day for you guys, would you say?
Yeah, I think we're really happy. Obviously, the conditions were very tricky, super light wind, super hot, and so in this condition and with foiling boat is just a matter of staying in the foils, and can be just a situation. But we're really happy about how we perform. We work quite a lot on the light breeze. Also after Villanova was some really big learning, and we're happy that we managed to do a good day.
In Italiano.
So I'm Bryan Mettraux from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
So sum up your day.
It was a tough day today, not a lot of wind, so a difficult condition to sail the EC40. And it was also really upside down, some night shift, so a tough condition.
You got a fourth, a second, and a third. So are you guys happy with those results?
could be much worse. So I wouldn't say that we are happy, but we did, I think, a great job to keep the boat on the foil today, and it was the biggest part of the day.
Now in French, please. So again, sum up your name and team.
Yeah, Arnaud, Psarofagis, Elsman on board Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Start with some English. So tell me about the day and the general feeling of how it went.
Yeah, first day here in Jeddah, really tricky condition on the race course, and every team did some really big improvement from Villanova, and I think we had we really did enjoy racing here against everyone. But I think mainly today we was like kind of you had to race on your own and just make sure you could keep the boat on the foil, and sometimes you could try to attack on someone or try to slow someone down, and we kind of manage it a few times, but sometimes if you try to be too clever, maybe you're going to lose even more. So I think today the focus was, okay, let's sail well on our boat, and then we're just going to try to go faster on the race course.
It was race 2. You were having a real battle with the British, with INEOS Britannia. Just tell me a little bit about that battle, which you won.
Yeah, race 2 was great. I mean, all the races are great, but on the race 2 we were fighting with INEOS, and it was kind of one boat split to one side, someone make again, then you come back, and it was really enjoyable actually, because we could really push up to the end with them, and they really help us to really improve and to keep up to speed. So I think it was great, but at the end it could have been either team races, and maybe we got lucky on the last shift to be on the correct side, and we just finished just ahead of them. Yeah.
I think the British INEOS put in a penalty claim against you. What was that for?
Yeah, at the last top mark, we were coming in a tight cross with INEOS, and we were discussing on the boat, can we do a leap out to go to the left and to be safe compared to a penalty, but looking at it, I was thinking we could cross, and then at one stage we were really marginal cross, but we didn't have the boat speed to do the tack. So at one stage we almost say, okay, we just need to keep going forward, and then we'll see what happens. And luckily for us, the umpire saw it the same way as us, and they probably greened that one because we didn't air anything on the com, and we didn't got any penalties. So I think let's say we got lucky with that one. We should try not to repeat it tomorrow.
Okay, so let's switch to French. Just sum up your day. Well, that'll be my first question then. So it's Giles Scott, INEOS Britannia. Well, sum up the day. You happy, unhappy, somewhere in the middle?
I'd put it solidly down the middle. Yeah, we certainly, not an amazing day, and no disasters either. I think one thing that's certainly worth keeping in our minds is that today, I think, looking at the outlook of the forecast, is the day to survive. Real bottom end, and I think you saw out there, got to keep it on the foils, and generally speaking, we managed to do that. I think we picked up some good points, but equally we left a little bit out there, and excited about trying to right some of those wrongs and put a few more points on the board tomorrow.
You obviously had some technical issues with the hydraulics before racing started, so you were late to the start, kind of. Was there any follow-up on that? Did you feel any effects from that?
Not sure. We'll have to have a look at the data and see how those issues we had early in the morning affect us on the water. But the good thing is that we were able to get through the racing and put in some decent scores. But yeah, it was a bit of a stressful start for everyone, and the shore guys in the team, especially with a manic morning. They were having to swap out a hydraulic ram out the bottom of the foil, paint carbog back on, and get us back out there. So yeah, they did well to get us out there for race 1.
Quite a battle with Alinghi in 2 races actually, and in the third one there was a penalty claim. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, it's a real tricky situation at the top gate where they were slightly bound forward of us on port. We were lined up to go to the left turn, they were lined up for the right, and we had right away being starboard boat, and in those situations, starboard helm, Ben doesn't have eyes on, so I took the wheel, and I think the issue that we had was my kind of attacking move up to them once they'd committed to the cross was just a bit late for the umpires. So it's kind of kicking myself a little bit for that, but equally, it's one of those real finite ones that if we'd have got it wrong, they could have just tacked inside and let us round as well. So yeah, could have done better with that, but certainly one to review.
Okay, great.
And Pete, congratulations today. It was an absolute pleasure to watch it. I mean, just summarise today and how Emirates Team New Zealand really approached day one here in Jeddah.
Yeah, it was definitely a very high stakes day today. I think we made a couple of mistakes in that last race and obviously ended up getting lapped. So yeah, we kind of tried to approach it quite aggressively, get off the line well, get out in the front. I think when we did that, we just sailed away. So Hopefully we don't have to sail on that bottom end tomorrow, but today we're really happy with the way we put together a first day and got a few good points on the board.
We can see the whole fleet has really progressed since the last event, including you. It looked like you really had a plan on the race course. How much has gone into performing here in Jeddah? How much work has been done?
To be honest, we've been back at home foil testing. We finished up our AC75 block in Barcelona as well since Villanova. So we've had a whole heap of other things going on, but we've always kind of seen these two events as real chances to try and improve things as a group, and I feel like we're sailing a lot better than we were in Villanova. So really happy with the bit of work we've been doing, but feel like we've still got a lot to go. And
early days, of course, we've still got 5 races before the match race. But, how pleased are you with how the team has improved and performed today? And what was a really tricky day?
Yeah, well, I think, looking at the forecast today was the day where you could definitely get a few high scores on the board. Super high stakes and that super light stuff. Hopefully for the pictures and the event, we can get a little bit more breeze for the next 2 days and really show what these boats can do, because they're absolutely awesome boats and a bit of breeze. And the last 2 events, what have we had? 4 days now of event racing and right at the bottom end of the conditions. So we're really hoping we can get a little bit more and showcase our sport.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks for coming. Well done today.
I don't need to do that,
We have Quentin Delapierre from Orient Express. Day one here in Jeddah, and it looked tough.
Yeah, it was tough, pretty light, so really challenging for all the crews and especially for the takeoff. And also today, I think keep flying the boat was not an easy part, especially with all the helicopter and shifty wind. So yeah, challenging.
There's huge expectation and huge learning actually from all the teams here. How much do you feel everyone has progressed since the last event, and what can we look forward to?
I think I already said that in Villanova, but the fleet was already really tight, and it's even better there. So we can see that each team can be disqualified, each team can win races, and this is why the America's Cup is the best league in our sport.
Talk to us a little bit about the atmosphere on board. I mean, we could see you were really trying hard in that last race, and it was great. It was great to watch you do that. What's that like? That atmosphere on board?
Yeah, I mean, at the time the boat is flying, you are quite like trying to sail smoothly and just feel the boat, and I think just try to put the race together. But at the time you lost the fly. It could be challenging and you have to take off. Pretty frustrating moment, but we just have to reconcentrate and focusing on the technique to take off as soon as possible.
We'll go in French. We have Ruggero Tita from Rossa, Prada Pirelli. First day racing in the America's Cup World. What was it like, and how did it feel to do so well?
For sure, we are super happy. The condition, as we know, were super tricky. The first 2 races were a bit ice breaking, but then we managed to break the ice and pull off a very good race, a win, which is also probably the first win of Luna Rossa in the AC40. So yeah, we are super happy about today, but we know that it's going to be a long way to go.
You sailed like a team full of confidence, but also learning. And with each race, we saw improvement. I mean, what did it feel like on board? You know, how confident is the team and how hungry?
Yeah, for sure, we are super hungry for the next days. And yeah, we are learning day by day and race by race because, as you know, we have very few hours on the boat. And that's why every start and every race, it's a new chance for us to learn something. So yeah, since now we are happy.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have 2 pretty established helmsmen. Yourself and Marco new for this event. You know, what kind of expectation has there been? How much pressure has there been, and how much of a relief is it to do well on day one?
Oh, for sure, it's fantastic for the team because all the guys came here before. They prepared the boat for us. They did a very good job under the sun and this temperature. And yeah, it's a good rewarding for them. So yeah, we are happy since now, but we have 2 more days of racing to go.
So we'll go with Italian. I'll ask in English. On this side, Italian. We have Riley Gibbs from American Magic, trimmer in American Magic. Riley, sport's tough, isn't it? You always have tough days. Just perhaps, summarise how hard today has been.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't put up the results we were hoping for, especially on day 1 here in Jeddah, and other teams were definitely able to execute, and we weren't able to. So we're definitely going to have a look at all the video. We've got plenty to learn in those tricky conditions, let's say, in starting, and for sure technique we can improve a lot in those conditions. So yeah, we've got the best sailors in the world, and we've got 2 really talented helms in front of both myself and Michael. So we got to step up our game, and we'll show it better tomorrow.
Early days, and I know there'll be a lot of analysis and debriefing this evening, but any kind of glimpse into really what was the crux of the issues today?
I'd say sailing underneath a helicopter is quite difficult, as you'd hear most of the fleet complaining about, but no, in the end it just comes down to positioning and whatnot, and technique and timing, let's say, in your starting setup. So yeah, plenty to learn.
We saw in the last event in Villanova, your team came back in a dramatic fashion from not the best start. What's the feeling within the team, and what do you think will happen from here?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like underdog syndrome or a nice swift kick, but we definitely need to get in shape and show we deserve the win in Villanova, and prove to our teammates that we should be out there racing and representing them as best we can. So yeah. Thanks, Troy.
Thanks. You good, Chris? Anytime. Tom Slingsby, American Magic. Tom, your team came into Jeddah, full of confidence from that last victory. As sport goes, today was a pretty difficult day.
Yeah, it was probably one of the hardest days I think I've ever had in sailing. To have a day like that where we're disqualified for going outside a boundary, not making the start time limit, and then finishing last. I've never had a day like that before.
I know it's early to necessarily talk about the reasons. Of course, you will debrief this evening, but what do you think happened today? How come you didn't really get a flow going?
No, we didn't. Yeah, we've had a quick debrief. It's always tough. A day like today, you just want to crawl away into a hole and hide and forget about it. But that's not what you've got to do. You've actually got to face your issues head on. What were we doing wrong? How did we make those mistakes? Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a team, we're gutted. I'm embarrassed. I've never sailed like that before. And we've just got to get better. And, yeah, we've already debriefed a few issues that we were doing, but it's especially hard, I guess, when your mistakes were before the start even happened. At a minute to go, the same thing we did yesterday. We're falling off the foils in our final manoeuvre into the start, and yeah, we ended up getting two did not finishes because of that. But look, other teams were able to stay on the foils, and we've got to look at them and go, it's not luck, it's got to be technique, it's got to be better management, and that comes down to me and Goody to make sure we put the boat in the right positions and our technique is on point.
2 more days of racing left here in Jeddah. What can we expect from Tom Slingsby and American Magic?
Look, there's a little bit more breeze tomorrow, so we might be able to hide away from our issues for one more day. But if there's a bit more breeze, I think you'll see everyone hitting the line pretty cleanly and back to normal race styles a little more. And we've just got to... A coach said to me when I was younger, you don't lose talent overnight, and we're still the team that won in Villanova. We're still the team that went out there and had a second and 2 firsts in conditions which are similar forecast for tomorrow. And, yeah, we've just got to go out with that confidence and forget about today, but learn the mistakes. And then on Sunday, looks like forecast is pretty similar to today, and we've got to see how much we can improve with one debrief, well, a couple of debriefs, and looking at some footage and go out, and we've got to win every race. That's like what the goal's got to be, and see what we can do.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.